What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Kiwan, and I am back with Divorce Sisters Season 1, Episode 13, Beyond Redemption. Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell button so you can be updated in every video I drop. Make sure y'all like the videos so I can stay in the algorithm. Also, if you want your High Vibes candle from the High Vibes Fragrance Company, y'all head over to my cousin Courtney, her High Vibes IG page. This is the logo. Yeah, this is the logo. And DM her to order your candles. As you can see, y'all, I've been burning them. And right now, she has her happiness and confidence candle. She has intention candles. And under each intention, there's an affirmation under it. It smells really, really good. It's a slow burn, which is good. And I enjoy. Okay, I'm waiting on my confidence candle. So yeah. Anyway, shout out to you, cousin. Her information will be in my description box. So click on that link and it'll take you directly to her IG page. So yeah. Anyway, so the episode picks back up with Denise walking up on Bridget and Marin having a conversation. She overheard Bridget telling Marin he was attracted to someone. So Bridget said she was mistaken. And Denise tell her, don't be lying in the church. Says the church gossiper. Okay? Now the mess is knocking at your door. And, I'm just saying, it's funny how God comes full circle. I'm just saying, that's all. But I digress. So anyway, Marin acting like Denise is getting on his nerves when she overheard. That lady know what she heard. You are attracted to someone, and instead of you actually being honest in the front, but once again, we're talking about Marin who can't be upfront and honest with himself. But you can't be upfront and honest with your wife. You was like, Denise, you got some damn nerve, because I would have smacked the piss out you in that church. Okay, I definitely would have laid hands on you. Because who you talking to, first of all? Don't treat me like I'm just some side item. Denise, listen. Sister, listen. Take your tangerine outfit and head over to Geneva and file for a divorce. Okay, see if she'll recommend you to Geneva or Javon. Okay, see if they'll recommend you to a divorce attorney. Okay, because he ain't it. He is confused, ma'am, and you don't deserve that. Okay, I just wanted to put that out there. All right. So Rashida and Jefferson. So they chat about the intensity dinner that they'll be headed to between William and Geneva. She get a call from Bridget. Bridget told her how she messed up with Marin in conversation and how his wife overheard their conversation. And Rashida was like, I can't deal with this right now. I got to go. Goodbye. I said, oh, okay. Why do the ladies treat Bridget like she just a hanger-on? Like, I don't like it. I told y'all this gives Danny and Sisters. And y'all know I'll review Sisters, okay? I will review a Tyler Perry Sisters. That's my show. Anyway, Naomi visits Grayson unannounced. Let's be clear. That's an unannounced visit. So Naomi goes over to Grayson's dorm room. She lies to him and tells him how bad she feels about their last encounter. Now, let me say this. I don't want to say she lied. But the way the optics are looking, it feels like you're using Grayson for your agenda. And I just feel like you could have just went to jail. That's why I feel like you could have just turned yourself in. Anyway, she wants to take him and Francis' raggedy ass out to dinner. And I still stand on what I stand on because Francis is real raggedy. I don't like her. Okay? I got a little something for Francis, though. So he asked his mom, what is my favorite? What is my favorite, food or whatever? And she was like, ice cream. And he was like, I'm allergic to dairy. And we found out she don't know much about him because she was either drunk often or she was fighting with Franklin. And she think Franklin has turned immediately. She gets into this defense space and she feels like Franklin has turned him against her. And she tells him, she wants a chance, and he tells her to leave. He don't want to be bothered with her. You cannot hurt your child and tell them how they should respond or how they should act. His experience with you wasn't a great experience. And that's just what it is, and you have to accept it. Now, you can try to change, but now you seem like you don't want to change. It feels like you're so, not feels like, but you're so set on getting Franklin back. Kind of like when Medea said in her movie, I gotta get them, when he was talking to Dr. Phil. You gotta get them. I'm sorry, y'all. But it's you want to get Franklin so bad that you're creating a bigger hole in a bigger space in between you and Grayson. You want Grayson to trust you. I don't think Grayson trusts you. Grayson doesn't really know you. You don't really know Grayson like that. And what happened, I feel like he attached himself to a woman just like you. And I feel like that girl is absolutely just like you. Anyway, Hakeem tries to break into Franklin's house. He realized that the alarm is set, so he can't break in. So he goes to hide. So then we get back to Jefferson and Rashida. And they get their little quick in. I was like, okay, for the pastor and the first lady, I wasn't mad at that. So then William goes to visit Yara. Y'all know Yara is the yoga lady. And Agoy is the name of her yoga. That's the one Geneva went to go visit. So William goes to visit Yara. He was like, hey, you texted me about the box. And she was like, no, I text you. Yeah, I text you about the box, but I text you to let you know that your wife has the box. So William is disoriented. William isn't there. Like his body is there, but his mind is somewhere else. And William is at this, it seemed like he's at a breaking point and all he want to do is cry. And I feel like him in that scene with Yara, he was holding back so much emotion and so much tears. And I just want to point out, y'all, shout out to Ron Rico for the chops this week, okay? The acting chops was on point. Ain't nobody talking to you, okay? Like, shout out to Ron Rico, okay? That's how I feel. Shout out to Ron Rico. Anyway, so you end up checking the text to see that he did misread the text. And it happens because when your mind is in another space, sometimes you don't see things. You look at something and you be like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought. So his mind is just somewhere else. And so she tells William that Geneva came in and accused them two of sleeping around. And he apologizes to her. He was like, I'm so sorry. And he said, she said, well, I bet you don't know what I told her. And he was like, I don't even want to know. And she was like, I told her that you were a good man. And that, basically just kind of bigged William up and realize, let her know, realize what you have. But she offers him a free yoga session. She was like, listen, you look stressed, you look like something is going on. She don't know what exactly, but she sees it because he's wearing it on his face. She was like, listen, I can offer you a free yoga session. And he was like, I'll think about it. And she was like, because you're not okay. And William, again, he's just trying to keep from crying. And I was like, my God, why today? Not William. My boy is slowly hurting inside. Okay? He is slowly hurting inside. So I retract my statement about William. I thought William knew something. I think he just wants the truth. Now, what's going to happen after that? I have no clue. But I don't like this for William because William is so attached to Anika. Like, there's such this attachment that he has grown for this baby, and now, to get information that that's not my kid, not even a possibility, but that's not my kid. The blood type, we're not matching. So whatever Geneva is talking is on BS. Like, that's just what it is. So anyway, we get back to the pastor and the first lady house, where Laz and Kelly are downstairs arguing. And he was like, I'm just tired of people not believing me. And Kelly was like, yeah, all you do is drugs because such and such told me you did this. And he was like, well, such and such told me you did that. So it's the whole name Brittany, and their friends, it feels like their friends are pinning them against each other, which is why they have this turmoil in the house. So Jefferson tells them that they both need to talk. I mean, they both need new friends, because it's obvious that your friends are causing division amongst the two of them. They tell Kelly that Laz almost passed away this morning, which he did, and if his mom didn't have the Narcan, then he wouldn't be alive. And so Kelly's entire mood has shifted because she didn't know. Like, I love my brother, but I love my brother not, like, I don't want him not to be here on this earth. And so they tell him how his weed was laced with fentanyl. But they also, that's when they share with Laz that he really wasn't lying. He was like, I told y'all. His mama was like, listen, don't sit here and try to celebrate. The fact of the matter is, you were smoking weed and you shouldn't have been doing that. So they let them know, listen, y'all need to work on y'all friendship, the people that's in y'all circle, and y'all two need to really talk and get some stuff out. And that's when Kelly's tone and mood and heart changed for William, and I wasn't mad at that. So y'all, Grayson and Francis. Francis walks into Grayson's dorm room, and he asked if he's seen his mom. She said yes, and I went the other way. I do not like Francis, but Francis was like, I want to meet your mom for dinner. And it's like you're trying to show up as a better woman, as the better person, a better woman in Grayson's life than Naomi. Because let's be clear, you already think because you're white, you already think that you're better. See, we clock you, little girl. You just want to show up as the better woman and to be like, I'm better than this black woman. Okay, that's just what I see. Francis is not to be trusted. I do not, and I'm telling y'all know how I be. It is something about her that I cannot. Okay, she wants to meet his mom for dinner, and he doesn't want to, but he want to talk to his dad first. And I'm like, okay, Grayson, fine, I get it. You don't trust your mama like that. But fine. So now we get to the dinner scene. William is at the restaurant already drinking. He's getting his double shots of brown. Okay, he needs something to take the edge off. He just wants the truth. So Geneva walks in and asks him, are you gonna pull out your chair for your wife? He said, I don't pull out chairs for liars. Okay. She was like, so how much you been drinking? Ma'am, mind your business. Okay, you can't come and question me until you give me some answers on what you got going on. So William tell her that she foul, and he feels like she's foul because you went to Yara and accused me of cheating with Yara when you the one who was cheating. She was like, I'm not cheating. You might not have not cheating, but you might not be cheating, but you cheated. Okay, stop playing word games. You know what you did. So he was like, where's my box? Because we all know that Italy trip, okay, is off. That Italy trip is off. All right. So then Rashida and Jefferson come in. Happy AF. All right. So what's her name? Geneva noticed this. She was like, well, y'all look happy. And he was like, well, we are. And Rashida was like, well, we want you to be happy. And he was like, how? Like, I wasn't mad at William's attitude the entire time because it was a lot of frustration. So y'all, sorry about that. I had to pause it real quick. So William at this point is, I'm just not mad at his responses, at his attitude, because there's a lot of frustration on William's end, and rightfully so, because I'm asking you just to tell me the truth and you won't even do that. You're not even trying to be honest with me. So the whole time Geneva sitting there quiet as a mouse. Normally she got a little nasty stank attitude. And so what's his name? Jefferson was like, you're a reasonable guy. And he was like, that's the problem. Because I'm a reasonable guy, everybody expect me to be reasonable all the time. And I agree. He wasn't wrong. So William asked, what would you do if you found out Laz wasn't yours? So he was like, I understand that. And William was like, but you don't understand that. You don't know what I'm going through. So William gives us a backstory on them having a kid. So I didn't write the backstory down, but I believe this is how it went. So, it may not be in order, y'all, so forgive me. So Geneva kept having a lot of miscarriages. They finally got pregnant. And after they got pregnant, like during the first trimester, he would, while she was asleep, he would pray. They would pray all the time while they were pregnant to get pregnant. She would cry all the time. And he said it just felt like a blow to him every time she couldn't keep a baby. Because I also think as a woman, you really feel a way when you lose a baby. But then as a man, you feel like, okay, well, what's wrong with me? So sometimes I think men do feel a way. I think they just don't express that all the time. The ones that care. Let me say that. So we found out that every night she go to sleep, William would put his hand over her stomach and he would pray over the baby. And he would ask God if, please let her keep this baby. Let her be able to go full term and carry the baby. And if you do, I will be a good father and a good husband. Geneva didn't know those things. And he gave his word to God. He said, I prayed, I cried. We prayed and we cried. We done all of the things. He said, I got married and I had a baby. I got married to have a baby. And she's still sitting there. At this point, Geneva has tears coming out her eyes, but she still won't tell William. I don't even understand why. Like, we really need to know her backstory and what the hell she got going on. But she still wouldn't be honest. So he's mad. He talking loud, belligerent, and I don't blame him. Like, he's mad. He's mad. And, before they leave, because he did have a couple outbursts. And so the one thing I felt like Geneva was more worried about was how people was looking at them in a restaurant. Ma'am, you don't get to do that. Like, you don't get to control William's emotions. You don't get to control William's emotions. She tell William, Anika is yours. He's like, Anika is not biologically mine. You need to tell me who you've been with and let me know what's going on. No, she won't do that. And so they decide to leave and head to Rashida and Franklin's house so they can have more of the conversation. Well, before they leave, Javon just walked in with Tiffany. He knew that they all were going to be at the restaurant, so to dig his claws into Geneva a little more, he decided to show up with Tiffany. Bruh, I cannot with him. So You knew that they would be there. Trash behavior. You knew that they would be there, yet you decided to bring Tiffany anyway. The way y'all are pulling Tiffany, especially Javon, the way y'all are dragging Tiffany by her scalp is ridiculous to me. So utterly ridiculous to me, because why? That lady don't deserve any of this. But yet y'all giving her this. So, Tiffany looks at William and Geneva. She's noticing like some energy and something ain't right. Tiffany, I need you to read the room. At this moment, you should not ask what's going on. Girl, read the room. Read the room. You know it and you see it and you see the tension. You can feel the tension. You should have just been like, okay, well, I will talk to y'all later. Like, and the whole time, Geneva looked up. She looked up one time. She kept her head straight. William was looking at her like, the way William was staring Geneva down, like, I wish the fuck you would look up. I want you to look up. Maybe that's how I gathered it. That's how I took it. But the way he was looking, like, look, I want you to turn your head. You better look like, you better not look like you finna turn your head. You better look directly at me. Geneva's body language had really slumped down. And it was almost like her body language gave defeated. You know, or maybe a little bit embarrassed. I don't know. Anyway, that was just a sidebar. That's just something I noticed. So anyway, Rashida tells Geneva, when you make it to the house, you need to tell William. And if you don't tell William, I'm going to tell William. And so Geneva was like, well, I can't believe you will betray me. Bitch, this is not betrayal. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse. You are expecting Rashida to not betray you, yet you are betraying William every day. You can't even look at him. You can't even face him. And then when you look at him, you have an attitude with him. And you are snarky and nasty with him. Because you did something wrong and you can't keep it a buck with your husband. Girl. So Rashida tell her, listen, it's all going to turn out bad if you keep lying. So I was like, oh, Lord. In the next scene, Grayson and Francis go into the bar to find Naomi dancing on top of the bar, drunk, of course. And I'm like, we just really need to figure why was Naomi doing all that drinking? Was Franklin beating her? Like, what? Cheating and beating? Yeah. And then, we knew that her brother was died from an overdose of drugs because Franklin said it in the first half of the episode. It's crazy. I just don't like Frances. I don't. I probably never will. I don't trust her. I don't trust her motives. I think now that she knows Naomi, but I will say this, I don't know if she's trying to protect Grayson. But I also feel like if that's the case, you're too young. Like this, y'all kids, they're well still young adults. But I surely do believe that Frances really believes she's a better woman for Grayson and in Grayson's life than his mom. And that's how she operates. I'm sorry, y'all. I see it. So anyway, William is in a car riding with Rashida. He's trying to get the truth out of her, but y'all know Rashida is a vault. She won't let you can put everything into Rashida, but she won't let nothing out. So Jefferson over in Geneva's car, Jefferson is trying to get Geneva to tell William the truth. And she's defensive and she got all this energy and she's still standing on the fact that the IVF didn't take. And Jefferson was like, but their blood's not matching. It cannot be possible. It's not the IVF. And you gonna keep riding this ride, right? She got mad when he didn't say that. he didn't say that directly, but he said it. Like, you gonna keep standing on this. This gonna be your story. She got mad because Jefferson is saying that. Like, you don't want anybody to hold you accountable. You are wrong. You are wrong. Anyway, Tiffany and Javon. So Tiffany feels bad about the whole Geneva situation. She tells Javon when she found out about William and Geneva headed out to Italy, she was like, I was so happy for them, and I was the first person to offer to watch Anika. So Javon, as he usually do, he's again causing triangulation between those ladies. He was like, and she didn't appreciate that. Why are you are so mad that this woman didn't leave her husband, that you are willing to hurt her friend, to hurt her in the process? But we need to find, this is going to be a mess. This is going to be a mess. I do feel like Javon comes off as super insecure. She was like, I'm sorry, I had to look at my notes. So Tiffany was like, I wish I knew what Geneva was mad about. And all he could say was time will tell. And you already know what's going on. You are part of that reason. You and Geneva are that reason why all of this is the way it is. But because you're insecure and because you're angry, you're just going to keep going through with this. Like, this is crazy. He said that the hardest thing he had to deal with was his divorce. Ain't nobody tell you should have never listened to her and divorced your wife. You shouldn't have, but you did. And I think you're mad about that. And you're mad at Geneva because you're divorced now. Please. Anyway, Tiffany noticed her ex-husband. So this is our first time meeting John. And so, I'm sorry. She lets him know that that's her ex-husband. He was like the bartender. And I was like, Javon is so insecure, y'all. It's just all over his face. So now, you don't know John. You don't know this man like that. But you're willing to piss him off just because. So he gets behind Tiffany. He hugs her. And she just goes along with the foolishness. And just, he was like, laugh. And he was just kissing her on her neck. And then he called her over. Hey, say you come. Oh my God. Like, you don't. I need Tiffany to get out of cloud nine and see how trash Javon is. Because I feel like the way you treat him is probably the way you treat people. The way you try to come off like the good guy. That is definitely a front. But I digress. I just didn't like it. Anyway, Hakeem finally broke into Franklin's house. Grayson has called his dad. His dad finally picked up the phone. He was like, Dad, I've been trying to call you. He was like, I know, I guess he was at the hospital with the bimbo. Okay, with the bimbo with her back out. The burnt back bimbo. Okay, that's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it burnt back bimbo. Okay. And so he tells his dad that his mom was on his campus with him. And Franklin tells him to stay away from her. And then Hakeem walks in and pull out the gun on Franklin. And I was like, yeah, I can already see. He's going to offer Hakeem more money. But because Hakeem is very desperate, he's going to take the money and probably throw Naomi under the bus. Which is going to be more things that he needs. And he's going to continue to show Grayson, that something is really wrong with his mom. He's really going to make this lady life a living hell. But she's making her own life a living hell by not going on with her life. I get that she's mad. And I'm okay with her being mad. But at this extreme, like, you really should be rebuilding a relationship with your son and really trying to turn around your life. I don't know what's gonna happen, y'all, but this was the end of the episode. It was really good. It is good, y'all. It's good. I don't know what to say. I don't know who the hell the writers are in there, but shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all, because it seems as though we have, I don't know if they're doing 16 episodes like they normally do, 8 and 8. So yeah, they got 3 more. If it is, we got 3 more episodes left, and I just want to, savor those episodes. We need to figure out what's happening. We need a season 2. Please let us know that there is a season 2. Ooh, child. It's a doozy. It's a doozy, y'all. So anyway, with all of that being said, this is your girl Kiwan reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.